And I guess I also want to say that like both of our feelings are valid and everything like beforehand. Like the things you feel always make sense because you're feeling them. And it's based on your experience, regardless of like the truth of the situation for either person. I was livid and I realized that that anger came from a place of sadness that I felt like it was the first time in our relationship in a very, very long time that I like kind of doubted the partnership. And not its overall functionality, but like if this is how she's going to treat me when I'm like dysfunctionally sick, like this isn't a in sickness or in health thing. Like she's literally just thinking, we both feel bad. Like suck it up. Like you can do better. But like I was doing my best and you were doing your best and your body's best at that time was just way better than mine. If that's how I would have treated you when you had your eye surgery, like that wouldn't be okay. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't know how I was feeling and you were going based off of your experience, I totally felt alone. And that's why I feel like I had to reach out to other people for like that sympathy. And I was like this was the first time in our relationship where I felt like I needed more than you were giving me, like, and you didn't get me as a partner. And so that was really hard for me. And then as I was going to bed and feeling worse and worse, like I feel like when I start feeling really bad, I almost like detach from my body a little bit and my brain goes to like this like super like altered like spiritual state, and not like trippy or anything, just like I start to think more clearly because I'm like trying to distract my mind. And I came back to a saying that I use a lot that I learned through like a coaching academy that I got certified through, which is that what someone else says and does defines them 100%, and what they're going through, and what you say and do defines you 100%. So like what you were saying and doing and like the feelings I was feeling from you, like that has nothing to do with me. I know how sick I am. I know I'm doing my best. And what you're thinking and feeling about that, like that's on you. That has to do with your experience and what you're going through. And for me, like how I respond and react to that defines me 100%. I didn't at like when I was like going to bed and like trying to go to bed and I was getting more nauseous and everything, and I was like, she's not trying to be unloving and she's not trying to make me feel bad. She's just having her experience, and like that has nothing to do with how much you love me. And like I would have preferred more compassion, not necessarily any action, because you were doing everything as a parent. Like I mean, I did put Kai to sleep and I had him in my arms for like almost 2 hours, and that was awesome that I was able to like contribute in that way. I couldn't contribute in the way that I wanted either, or the way that you wanted. Like I wasn't doing good enough for you, but that has to do with how you were feeling at that time, not who I am as a human. And so I let that go, and I was like, that's like I can't feel that about us. Like that's just. And then like at night you were like really nice to me. Like when I woke up you were like, whatever you need, like just let me know. Like just let me know. I'm
When did I
here.
say that? Oh, when you
When
were
I got
like,
up to go to the
yeah,
bathroom and I
yeah,
was like sitting on the toilet and I was like, I am so nauseous. Like
yeah.
I'm probably gonna
I think
throw
it's
up.
because I'd already had sleep and I was less
Hmm.
mad at you. But I was
Yeah. So
so
that was my
mad because,
experience. So.
like, the way that I see it is like, yeah, you're sick, but parents don't take sick days. Like, I'm sorry that you feel really nauseous, but we have two kids, and I feel, or that
Had a
whatever you're
fever and was
feeling,
like
yeah,
all
you had a
nasty.
fever. I know you had yeah, I know. Yeah, but in the moment, like, all I was
Hmm.
feeling was like, I'm feeling really nauseous too, and like, but here I am, and I took Ollie outside, and we played for not a long time, but like enough to
Yeah,
at least get him a
it
little
was a
bit
pretty
of
long time.
play. And I like, yeah, you had Kai for a little bit, but I'm not the one who normally puts Kai to sleep anyway.
Hmm.
And I feed him and I do all of these things, and like I can't stop. I can't stop.
Yeah.
And but somehow like you can, and that was like really frustrating to me. Like I was like, yeah, I know you're sick, but yeah, basically like suck it up. Like I'm sucking it up. Yeah, I did that thing. Like I worked out a little bit, and like I was half-assing it.
You were like doing more than half-assed it. Like
I
you were
was
getting it.
half-assing. No.
You were getting it though.
I well, thanks, but I
Yeah.
felt like I was half-assing it, and I was like, you know, I mean, and okay, I get that that was like my best, but I felt pretty bad too, but I just knew that I had to do that to like take care of myself. It just felt like I was the only parent.
Hmm.
And it was like, especially like if we're both feeling shitty, like suck it up. Like, and I was so mad. Like, I get it. Like, but if I had a fever and you were at work or whatever, like, I'm not saying you would go to work if I had a fever. I'm just saying, like, if I
Hmm.
had a fever and you were at work, like, what am I going to do? Like, fend for yourself, Ollie and Kai. I'm not even going to try to put you to, no, like, that's not how it works. That's just not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, I would have had to give Ollie food. I would have had to, like, give Kai food or feed them and make sure that if they
Which I
needed a
mean,
nap
I
or whatever. I'm
was
just
doing
saying,
too,
like,
though.
well,
You know what I mean?
but
Like
I
I
like
did the
pushed you a little.
bare bones basic.
I feel like I pushed you a little bit to do some stuff, not all the stuff,
Uh-huh.
some stuff. And so that, like, I was feeling frustrated. This is gonna sound really petty, but like in the moment, it felt like I did it out of pettiness. But then I was like, you know what? Like, we co-sleep. Sometimes it's just really like taking Kai out of that room and bringing him into the living room to shush him and like get him back to bed. Like a lot, it wakes him up almost completely, and then he's like awake
Hmm.
forever. And I said, no, like, I'm like, if I'm gonna have a shitty night, so are you.
Hmm.
Pretty much. Like, I don't wanna, and I
Yeah,
was
I know
feeling
you do
nauseous.
that. Yeah.
Like, I was feeling very nauseous. But I was also, I'm
Hmm.
gonna sleep him here. Like, if he cries and he wakes Ollie up, then he cries and he wakes Ollie up,
Which he did, and
which he
Ollie
did.
had a really, really rough night because of that.
But there were also moments at night when Kai was perfectly fine
And
sleeping
Ollie woke
and
up.
Ollie woke Kai up, and then
Hmm.
Kai was up for a long time too after
Yeah.
that. So it's a give and take.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, poor Ollie," like a little like in the same way that I'm not going to be like, "Poor Kai." They both do it to each other, and we just have to get Kai used to sleeping
Hmm.
and get like feeling okay enough to be self comforted by just like or whatever. Just
Hmm.
like how we did it with Ollie. Like Ollie was really good at like if he was asleep and you were just even like he was fine.
Hmm.
But Kai's not like that because he's not used to being in the bed with us.
Yeah.
So anyway, but like I was like, I'm just not even, but I was starting to feel more and more nauseous. Like I remember that first night though, when I told you that I was nauseous, I couldn't sleep very well because
Hmm.
I was nauseous the
Yeah.
night before. Like I was nauseous all night.
Yeah. And I was very sympathetic to that. I was like, you take all the time you need. I'm feeling okay. Like, if you want to bring him out here and sleep more, like, go for it. Like, I
Well,
was
and
very sympathetic to that.
I know, but I'm not saying that you weren't, and I'm not
Hmm.
saying that I was trying to be unsympathetic to you, but at the same time, like if we're both like
Yeah.
really sick,
So,
like we both have
so
to be
here's
there
my
for them.
question. If we're both home and like had I started like vomiting midday, like throwing up uncontrollably, like would you have been like, that's that's enough of a symptom for me to feel sympathetic and be like, okay, I'll take them both. But because what I was telling you wasn't good enough for you, you just assumed that I wasn't feeling bad enough
No, I
and that I was
never
like trying to
assumed that
take it
you weren't
easy.
feeling bad enough.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not to do with you not feeling bad enough. It's both of us were feeling bad in different ways. Like you
Hmm.
weren't feeling nauseous until that night. And I
But
felt nauseous
when
the
I got
whole day
up, I was
yesterday.
feeling
I
nauseous.
felt nauseous the whole day yesterday.
Yeah.
The whole day I was like I hardly ate anything because I was just so nauseous.
Yeah, but I feel like
But I still took Ollie out and I still
yeah, I
put
know you
Kai to
did.
sleep
But
lots of
what
times.
I'm saying is like if you tell me you need something, I trust that. Like I might fight it a little bit at first if I'm like super tired, but like I trust that. Like you're not trying to take advantage of the relationship. You're saying like I need this right now.
If you
And it's
had
a give
told
and
me,
take.
like, if you had said, like, I just need to go take a nap, I'd have been like, yeah, go take. In fact, I offered you a nap in the morning. I said, if you need
Yeah,
a
and I
nap, go
took
take
it.
it. Exactly. And if
Yeah.
you had said, like, look, I'm just feeling really sick still, I'll go take a nap. Go take it. Like,
Like
go. Like, it's
I
fine.
didn't need a nap. I wanted to be as present as possible. I'm just saying like what I was saying
But
is
if you
I
were
feel
feeling
really
that sick,
sick,
then you could have gone and taken a nap. Like,
but
if
like
you felt that sick, why wouldn't you have gone and taken a
how would you
nap?
have felt better about that?
Well, for one, if you're not in the room, Ollie's not like, play with me, play with me,
Mhm.
play with me to you. Like I can
Yeah.
manage both of them
Yeah.
almost sometimes better. If you're in the room and you're not doing anything, it's like, oh, it's almost even more frustrating because Ollie sees you and
Hmm.
he's like, play with me, play with me, play with me. But it's like, no, you can't. So then he becomes even more needy in
Okay.
different ways. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
it's just like It's aggravating. But it has nothing to do with you being that sick or not. Like I never doubted you were that sick. You had a fever. Like I
Mhm.
know you were sick, but like
But like even when I had a fever, you were like, you should take Ollie outside.
I did say that, but I didn't
You're
super
like,
mean it because
yeah.
I knew that I was gonna. I just didn't want to, and that part
Mhm.
was like wasn't like
Yeah. That's when I was feeling like when I started feeling shitty and I was like, I know you can't take both of them and I know that I don't feel good, but I will do my best to be with Kai. Like we both want Ollie to go outside and enjoy a snow day because we don't get that many of them. And he really wants to go outside and do that. And he had already expressed to us very recently that we didn't spend enough time with
I
him.
know, I
And so I was
know.
like, I cannot do that. I said it to you very bluntly, like, I cannot take him outside. If he's going to go outside, you have to be the one to take him. And like that's when you started getting really mad at me. Even though I wasn't able to parent perfectly, I still played with Kai on the floor, like with a fever in it, like with a fever and all. Like I wasn't just sitting there like, you do you, Kai. And then as soon as he got fussy and I knew he was hungry, I got up, I made him a bottle, and I fed him and slept him. And then I had him there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I can't remember how long he slept.
I guess like what my issue was like too, like hearing you say that
Mm-hmm.
back and like remembering sort of how I felt is like you started feeling sick almost at the beginning of the day. When you woke up, you only had one kid. Like I slept a little bit more with Kai, but then I came out and I was like, well, I slept more. Then I had both kids
I
while
mean,
you
I
were
still
in
had
there.
Kai.
I had both kids for a really well for the
Yeah, I think it
duration of your
was
nap.
like an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just can't do both of them by myself, right? But I'd been dealing with both of them by
Yeah.
myself. And then you came out and you were like sick, and you know, I was then, and then you were like, well, I'm too sick, and so like Ollie just pretty much like sort of had to fend for himself,
Mm-hmm.
but like rely on me because you were too sick. And also, I had Kai. So again, I had both of them. And then Ollie wanted to go outside. Well, I can't take him outside. I just can't. You're going to have to do that. And it was just like, I
Yeah,
was
no, that
doing it
makes a lot
all.
of
Like, I
sense.
was doing it all. And you're like, you have to do it, you know? And so it was just like,
Yeah.
so frustrating. Like, yes, Ollie had to go outside. We told him we would take him outside. So obviously we had to.
Yeah.
And he had fun and he loved it and I don't regret it. But it was like you were like, you have to take him outside. Obviously I can't. And it's just like,
No, yeah,
words,
I can see it. I can see
words.
it from your perspective.
Because I've had both kids all day.
Yeah.
That's where I was coming from. And I was so mad because I didn't want him to feel we didn't have time for him again or whatever. It had nothing
Mm-hmm.
to do with you being sick or anything. I was just like, it is what it is. I have to be there for him. I have to be there for him. Like what
Mm-hmm.
no matter what I'm feeling, I have to suck it up. And I wasn't like everything's fine, Ollie. I feel perfectly. No, I was like, I'm not feeling good, Ollie, but I'm here for you. When you have kids, like what are you going to do? What are you
Mm-hmm.
going to do?
Yeah, but see, I feel like that's where I felt like the lack of like empathy and support from you is that you woke up thinking, regardless of how I feel, this has to be an optimal day. And when I woke up, I was like, fuck optimal. Like, this has to be, like, there's no way this day can be anything other than, like, the most basic. I pushed through my shittiness to feed them, to sleep them, to do the basic things. But when Ollie came up to me and wanted to chase me around the house, like, I literally can't do that. If you want to come over here, I mean, with your tablet and snuggle and we can do Spanish games together and we can do, like, I would love to do that. But, like, he didn't want to. He didn't want to. That's not what he wanted to do.
I didn't run around
He
the
needed,
house with
I know
him
he
either.
needed, but like, Dad, come over here and do a dinosaur park. Buddy, like, I can't be on the floor over there. But if you want to bring your dinosaur park over here to the padded area, like, I can just plop down there and we can build a dinosaur park together. No, go over here with me. Buddy, I can't do that. I was giving compromises and solutions that I could do with how sick I was feeling. I wasn't just like, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
I never
You know what I
said you
mean?
were.
So
Like I
like,
never
but I
said
can
you
see
were, but it was just like
from your perspective, like, and again, like, this is a, I think, a very common parenting thing, regardless of the situation. Like, both parents are having their own experiences where they're in different states of mind, and the things that the other person are saying in their state of mind are like triggering the other person because they're not on the same page.